To give you an example, 66% of sick and disabled people asked said that they'd been abused or threatened in the street in the last year. Now, I find it impossible to say that you can't tie these two things together. If our society, you know, our government and our media are constantly portraying people as lazy and not trying hard enough, then obviously our neighbours are going to pick up on that, our friends, our family, people who otherwise, you know, wouldn't think to judge us. There really has to be a very close look at how government and media are portraying people with illness and disability. I know people who are frightened to leave their homes now, frightened to go down to the corner shop to buy some bread because they're worried that their neighbour is going to shop them to these horrible benefit lines that say there's nothing wrong with them. They're frightened to have a holiday. They're frightened to go away with their family on holiday because they know that there are instances of the DWP following them on that holiday and taking pictures of them swimming in a swimming pool. Now there's a quandary there. If you're going to stigmatise people, how are they ever going to get better? How are you going to have those occasions with family, those occasions with loved ones that actually give you some confidence and some hope? How are you ever going to recover? How are you going to recuperate if you feel you're watched, you feel that your neighbours judge you, you feel that the media judge you, you feel that the government call you names? We've actually created a situation, in my opinion, where people are more likely to stay on the benefits that they're on for terror of being stigmatised. Let's have a scenario where you've got two people applying for the same job. One of them's perfectly able-bodied, has the same skills, the same personability. You like both candidates equally. But one of them's been on incapacity benefit for 8 years. And you've been told constantly in the media and by government that these people were lazy and feckless and work shy and didn't want a job. If I were that employer, I would be 99% likely to give the job to the able-bodied person who had worked more recently. That stigmatisation in itself is not helping in any way employers and businesses to engage with this idea of getting people back into work with the right support. If you're constantly thinking about where am I going to live, can I afford it, can I afford food, can I afford to clothe my children, actually that can be a full-time job in itself. You know, you can spend so much of your time just trying to survive. That in itself creates a barrier, I think. I'm in a ridiculous situation where I can't actually earn any money at all unless it's a significant and regular amount of money. I think that's the important thing. There has to be some form of security. If you're going to give up the small amount of benefits that you do receive to help you, you actually have to know that that can be replaced every month. You can't just replace it for 1 month. What we really need is for anybody who's concerned to write letters when they see a nasty story about scroungers, write to the Daily Mail or the Express or even the BBC and say that you're not happy with that language, that actually there are serious issues here that you don't feel the media are reporting on. To amplify our voices, to maybe in your local communities, look, have you had a hospice closed? Have you had a home with vulnerable adults who have suddenly found that they're losing their mobility payments? Look beyond the surface, scratch a little deeper and see if there's any way that you can actually fight some of these changes and help get our message across. We'd be delighted with that. The biggest message I would love to impart is please join with us. Please see what you can do to break down these barriers.